In today's episode, I'm going to be taking us back to the PS3 generation to talk about DIGGS NIGHTCRAWLER, which was released for the WONDERBOOK. You don't know what the WONDERBOOK is? Well, I'm not surprised because, well, there was only ever 4 games released for this before it was killed off and forgotten about. Which is a shame because the WONDERBOOK was a pretty neat gadget and DIGGS NIGHTCRAWLER was one of the better games released. Admittedly, there are only 4 to pick from, but hey ho. So, WONDERBOOK is a kind of like a QR code style book that you place on the floor, and using the PlayStation Eye camera, it tracks where that book is, and when you turn the pages, it'll place the game on top of your book, and it will always know what page you're on, and you use a combination of tilting and moving the book, as well as the PlayStation Move controller, to interact with it and play through this noir detective story. Trophy-wise, it's a pretty easy platinum, but there is a couple of glitched trophies, and you can beat the game in around 3 or 4 hours, so it'll only take you around 8 or 9 hours to get the platinum because there's a few annoying trophies that you'll have to mop up and replay a lot of the game to get. But for me, the most BS one was definitely the Careful Climber gold trophy, which is unlocked by climbing up the water sprout without ever getting hit, and this was the penultimate level, or rather page in the book's story, where you are chasing after the villain up this water sprout tower. As the player, you are tasked with guiding DIGGS up the winding tower while avoiding the many hazards along the way, such as bats, falling barrels, loose walkways and more, and you do this by rotating the WONDERBOOK in real life as if you are going up and around the tower, which is a pretty cool gimmick. The faster you spin the book, the quicker DIGGS will move up and around it, but you need to be careful as if you move too quickly, you may set off some of the hazards like the bats or the loose walkways that you need to slowly pass by in order to not trigger them. One of the more annoying hazards on this level are the falling barrels that can be really hard to avoid if you're going at a steady pace, as they just fall right on top of you with very little warning. You could go really fast and pass under them, but you then run the risk of moving headfirst into the next hazard, so it's best to climb this tower slow and steady and just nudge your way up it, going really slow. Then whenever you hear the sound cue for the barrel, you just completely stop touching the book and just wait for the barrel to fall in front of you. That for me was the safest way past, but it was always annoying because I was just going so slowly up this tower by rotating the book really slow. But that was the best way to do it, because if you get hit just once at any point during this climb, it's game over. That voids the trophy and you'll then have to restart from the very bottom of the tower. The final hazards in this level are these rotating poles that you need to pass underneath, and there's 2 types of these. The first one just has 1 spinning pole for you to avoid as it goes around, and then the other one has 2, and these are just really frustrating to go past and are likely where your runs will fail if you do manage to avoid those barrels. If you go too quick here, you might end up bumping into the first pole, and if you go too slowly, you might end up getting hit from behind by the second pole, so it can be quite finicky to get through here because trying to nudge forward slowly by spinning the book can be awkward at times, and the collision and hitbox on the DIGGS character and these spinning poles does seem to be a bit too big because you can hit it when you're not even really by it. Spinning the book itself can also be awkward at times because you may have a few fails if you end up spinning the book too quickly, as the camera can have a hard time seeing the actual book, causing this error screen to appear over the top of the game, which annoyingly doesn't actually pause the game, so you may still be moving around behind this screen going up the tower, potentially hitting an object, which happened to me a few times during some of the runs. So the key for this trophy is to go slow and carefully, and doing that by just slowly nudging the book around can take you about 10 whole minutes to climb this tower, and there's about 15 or so different hazards to avoid as you climb up to the top. So technically it isn't too demanding because all you're doing is just turning a book around, and all of the hazards are still in the same spots each time you play this page, so you can quickly learn the pattern to get up there quicker, which is actually a good thing because unfortunately for myself and others, this trophy is glitched, Seriously, I had to climb this tower without getting hit 3 whole times before it finally unlocked on that 3rd run up the top of the tower. Oh god. And I've read online that some unlucky soul had to do this 9 times. 9 times going up there without getting hit. Oh my god. Oh jeez. That is just BS. And I'm not sure what's even voiding it. Maybe it's because you're just restarting it every time on the same page, I don't know, but it sure as hell is an annoying bug that just sprinkles on top of an already shitty trophy. Because when you do restart, the first section of the tower has no hazards, and then you have this cutscene that you have to wait for it to go by, where Humpty Dumpty doesn't come up the tower with you before you can actually start the challenge proper. So that kills a good 30 to 40 seconds. And when you do want to replay the level, it's a case of closing the book or changing the page and going back to it, but sometimes that doesn't work and you just get stuck on this endless loading screen, so it's really awkward to just restart the damn thing. Ah, dear. But yeah, like I said, eventually, despite doing it 3 times, I eventually got the trophy to pop. So I was lucky that I didn't have to do it even more times than that. But yeah, it's just BS.
There it is.
Well, with all that said, I guess it's time to give the Careful Climber trophy in DIGGS Nightcrawler its BS rating. So, for being a glitched trophy that doesn't always unlock despite you meeting the requirements, forcing you to then redo it multiple times with those annoying barrels and BS spinning poles to avoid each time, and the wonkiness of the book and camera tracking your movements with those stupid error screens, the Careful Climber trophy deserves a BS trophy rating of 9, and that's a 9 out of 10 for all those people who had to do this climb 9 times. So, have you got this on the PS3? Did you have the Wonderbook? Did you have the 4 games available for it? And did you manage to platinum DIGGS Nightcrawler? Let me know in the comments below, and if you managed to get this trophy, drop me a comment and share your experience with it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.